Let's be honest, meme coins have taken the retail market by storm. Thousands of people are chasing them as a way to get rich and a way to get rich quick. And it's easy to see why. If you're new to crypto, don't have much capital, and keep hearing stories of meme coins like House or Trump coin pulling 100x gains, the temptation is obvious. You start thinking, what's the fastest way to make the biggest return possible? But this mindset is a trap, and it's where most beginners lose everything. Many new investors come in believing they'll hit $1 million score off a couple lucky plays because that's the image sold to them. Influencers flaunt screenshots of massive wallets, luxury watches, and Lamborghinis in Dubai, and it looks easily achievable, but in reality, it's the complete opposite. The truth is that 99.99% of meme coins launched today are insider run, pump and dumps designed to separate you from your money. They're not wealth building opportunities, they're exit liquidity printers for someone else, and that's the problem. In this video, I'm going to break down why chasing meme coins is a losing game, how the crypto market has matured, and most importantly, the shift that you need to make if you want to build sustainable long-term generational wealth. Firstly, we need to understand why retail investors are so drawn to meme coins. Without this, it's impossible to see why they've become such a losing strategy. Meme coins have always carried a sense of cultural rebellion against traditional finance, and up until late 2024 and even into early 2025, they were really a way for retail traders to make money. Many new investors were still able to rely on using old playbooks from previous bull markets, such as chasing hype or chasing luck, and for a while it worked quite well. Retail was sold on a dream of hitting that lucky play early or turning a few dollars or a few thousand into life-changing money, and for a select few who got in at the right moment, it happened. Back then, retail capital was still driving the market while institutions were only beginning to step in. This fueled massive volume across chains like Solana, like Base, and Ethereum, and so on. But like all markets, most of that money ended up in the hands of insiders or the people who controlled the game, sold at the top, and used retail as their exit liquidity. Today, the landscape has shifted. Retail capital has dried up, and many newcomers are either out of funds entirely or can only trade with small amounts of capital. That vacuum left meme coin rallies to be dominated by the top 1%. This included whales, influencers, and tightly knit insider networks. Now, moves don't come from organic hype. They're completely engineered by those pulling the strings in the background. Influencer shills, marketing schemes, and orchestrated narratives push the plays, while insiders run the whole thing behind the scenes. That insider Telegram group you joined, or that YouTuber who magically calls 50x meme coins, they're a part of a machine, sometimes knowingly and sometimes not. The truth is, meme coins today are less about rebellion and more about cartel-like networks ensuring the rich get richer. And with this setup, it's not hard for insiders to make money. Retail still believes meme coins are a sustainable path to riches, when in reality, they're just providing exit liquidity for someone else's exit. The formula is simple. Launch a coin, use sniper bots or early manual buys to get in first, then pass it off to influencers who do all the heavy lifting. They sell the dream. This could be the next 100x coin. You could get rich if you hold, and retail rushes in, convinced they're early, but in reality, they're not, and they're walking straight into a trap. Take Dogecoin as an example. For weeks, influencers push narratives. If Donald Trump mentions Doge because he's holding it, it's going to the moon, or International Moon Day is coming up, Doge is destined to explode. These storylines were simply marketing hooks designed to keep people comfortable and holding for these dates. And then, like clockwork, massive red candles cut through the chart as the insiders sell directly into retail buys. This is the cycle. It repeats over and over again, and it starts with hype, then the influencer push, then the retail entry, and finally the insiders cashing out. And it will keep happening as long as people believe they're early when in truth they're actually exit liquidity. And soon I'll show you how to build real sustainable wealth in crypto without ever needing to chase another meme coin again. When price moves purely on speculation and false marketing, failure is inevitable. Yes, you might get lucky once or twice, but chasing short-term plays blinds you to the greatest opportunity retail has ever had. The fact is, you are still early to crypto. You've beaten the institutions to the punch. you already have a foot in the door of the financial revolution that 99% of the world hasn't even noticed yet. But here's the key. In today's game, you need to put your money where real capital is flowing and where it will keep flowing for the next 10 to 20 years. Retail markets like low-cap gems and meme coins are drying up, and they're drying up quicker and quicker every month. Most retail investors lost everything in 2024 and won't be coming back anytime soon. That leaves you with a rare opportunity or the ability to accumulate for a moderate period of time. But the question is, where should you put your money? Congratulations, you made it to the part of the video where we talk about building generational wealth, and I'm about to share a strategy with you that might actually give you a chance at becoming a millionaire. The strategy is simple. Follow institutional interests. Unlike meme coin cartels, institutions don't exist to dump on you. Of course, they buy and sell consistently, but their horizon is measured in the decades and their capital runs in the trillions. Those trillions are not moving into meme coins. They are moving into regulatory compliant, fundamentally strong, utility-backed projects that can survive the test of time. All you need to do is align yourself with the institutional money, and if you do this, the odds of building generational wealth over the next 10 to 20 years rises dramatically. To illustrate this, think back to the start of this cycle. It took nearly a year and a half after Bitcoin hit its all-time high for Ethereum to break its own, but Ethereum breaking its all-time high was always destined to happen. This gave you a huge window of time in which you could make money and rotate from one play into another. If you had simply bought Bitcoin, sold at the top and rotated into Ethereum, you would have easily made well over a 10 to potentially a 15x plus on your initial investment. Compound that approach over a decade and you're looking at least a 100x. It's not rocket science. Today, your job is to identify where institutions will put their money, as crypto is no longer a retail market, and now it will act very similar to stocks. So, what projects should you actually buy? The answer is simple, and it's much simpler than most people think. Focus on foundation providers in infrastructure layers, early DeFi innovators, real-world asset providers, and cross-border payment networks, as well as on-chain financial tools. These are the sectors where institutional money is moving and where it will continue to flow over the next decade. But here's the important part. You can't just throw money blindly into these areas. You need to research, understand what you're investing in, compare projects, and set goals. Always ask yourself, if I had $1 trillion to deploy like an institution, where would I put it so I can stand the test of time? That is the most basic form of risk management, and it allows you to protect your capital while positioning for long-term wealth. You don't need 10 different projects to get rich. 2 to 5 strong, institutionally aligned plays are more than enough to give you exposure to the enormous inflows that will come over the next decade. And when the time is right, you rotate, selling into strength and moving into the next sector institutions are chasing, because their needs and interests will shift over time. With that said, here are 5 of the strongest projects right now, and these include Ethereum, XRP, Tron, Stellar, and HBAR. You might look at these and think they're just top 15 coins. They aren't going to pull magical returns, but here's the truth. The entire market cap of the meme coin sector was funneled into Ethereum in a single week, and it wasn't from retail investors driving that move. Imagine the same scale of institutional inflows stretched over the next 10 years. The market cap of these projects doesn't matter when trillions of dollars is headed its way, and imagine how much safer your money could grow and how big of a stake you could secure in the future of global finance. And all it takes is realizing that meme coins are a losing strategy because the real game has already shifted and you're still early enough to play it.